Good morning, good morning, good morning. You are live here. Good morning, guys. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Let's get some light coming in. It's a beautiful Wednesday. It looks kind of dreary. Let's get some light. Some light, some light, some light. Bright light, mighty light. I'm going to let it shine, okay? All right, guys. How y'all doing out there? If you are new, if this is your first time watching, I am Staar. I have been trading now for a little over 5 years. About maybe 8, 9 months ago, I began to see the market so clear and began to get profitable after almost 5 years, you guys, after 5 years of losing, okay? And so I am over 40, 48. And if you are somebody that needs help, somebody that's going to be patient, is going to help walk you through this thing step by step, actually explain to you the higher highs and higher lows, I may be your girl. All right. With that being said, before we get started, I want to let you guys know that I am not a financial advisor. Nothing that I say should be considered as financial advice. And my biggest tip for you is don't trade more than you can afford to lose. Trading is very risky and you probably will lose your money. There's a very high chance that you will lose your money. So never ever trade more than you can afford to lose. With that being said, if you continue watching, you're doing it at your own risk. All right. Let's go ahead and look at the markets today. It is Wednesday, July the 29th. We're going to go ahead and share my screen so you guys can see what's going. Had it marked up here on the 30-minute with a break of structure right here at this area. And I'm going to be looking, we did break structure. I'm going to be looking for some type of retest there. We did get that break, a beautiful break here. And I was looking for some type of retest. I hope that this was not that. Okay, I hope this little thing right here was not my retest. But we are going to be looking for some type of retest. You guys, I am right in the middle of passing this funded challenge. And I think I only need $815. So I'm excited about that. So that's where we're at. It's 9:30. I'm getting ready to get in on this retracement. If it gets up here to my level that I had marked up, I'm looking to get in on the retracement of my markup here. So we are at the see if we're going to get it. All right. And I titled this video today, finally understanding market structure, because market structure is the key. All right. Market structure is the key. That's what you have to know, what's being broke, so you can know if you should enter at that area. So this is where the market broke structure on the 30-minute time frame. And I was looking for, this is only going to give me a 23.6 pullback. I really like deeper pullbacks than that. So I'm going to be looking for a pullback to come up here. I would like a 50% pullback, 61.8% pullback, something like that for the sell continuation. Okay. So let's go down to the smaller time frame and look at the market structure there. On our 5-minute time frame, this is our lower low, and this would be our lower high. We need this lower high to get broken in order for me to get the pullback that I want. If not, then this might continue to create lower lows. So let's look at divergence. So here we have this as the lower low and this as what? A lower high, even though it hasn't printed that. So it looks like we are going to get that break up. It's showing it as far as momentum is concerned that we could possibly get that break up. All right. So with that being said, let's see if we can get a pullback. I'm looking for a pullback up to, like I said, the 50% would be great at that 747, and we'll write it down to the 474 and 61.8. Any of those would be a great pullback for us, okay? Now, if you're new to my channel, I trade mostly US 30, which is MYM, the Dow on futures. I trade every now and then, again, I trade gold, but I mostly trade NAS, the Dow Jones, and I'm doing it on both forex and futures. Right now, I'm passing my take profit 50K challenge, my funded challenge. So I'm going to need about 815 bucks left to pass that. And then after I pass that, then I'm going to buy two more so I can have a total of three. And then after I buy those two and pass them, I'm going to buy two more. I think you can have a total of five and use your copy trader thing. So that's my plan. And let's see what we're going to get here, guys. Let's see what we are going to get. So every time frame has its own market structure. That's what I want you guys to realize. If you guys are new, if you're taking notes, every time frame has its own market structure. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Every time frame has its own market structure. Sometimes 15-minute and 1 hour, or 15-minute and 30-minute might look the same. Sometimes 5-minute and 15-minute can look the same. Sometimes 4 hour and the daily can look the same, but just get in the habit of knowing that every time frame has its own market structure. If you're watching, say hi in the chat. Say hi to Staar in the chat. Good morning, friends. So just get used to knowing that every market structure has its very own. Every time frame has its very own market structure, and that's why it's really important for you to figure out what time frame are you trading on, okay? Because if you trade on the 15-minute, then you should be looking for the market structure to shift on the 15-minute. Some people trade on lower time frames, but Staar, myself personally, I like to trade I like to have my confirmations on that higher time frame. So I try to have the confirmations on the 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour versus the 5-minute and the 1 minute. Okay. The higher time frame they're stronger. Okay. They carry more weight than the lower time frames. Okay. And I've always been taught that the market structure on the smaller time frames can easily be broken. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're getting your overall analysis from a higher time frame. So let's just look at 5-minute market structure because I want to show you guys what, as the market is moving, I think that's one of the best ways to learn. So I'll draw circles for you, and what we're looking for is we have just got a break of structure for the sell down. This pink line here that I have dashed is my break of structure on the 30-minute time frame. Okay, this right here is my break of structure on the 30-minute time frame. All right, And so what I'm looking for, guys, is I'm looking for some type of retracement back up here so that I can get in the trade and carry it on down back to this zero area. This is the way I like to trade. All right. So I'm looking for some type of buy up, possibly maybe to this zone here, because this is a zone where I can get in and then sell it back down. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. So this area right, I'm just showing you guys what I have marked up so you can follow along. This area here was my higher low. Okay, and why is this here? Because the market was down. Okay, it had sold down. The market had sold down, and then it started making higher lows, higher highs, and higher lows. Okay, so it made a higher high here. This would be a higher low, and then this would be the higher high that it made. All right, so the market started making higher highs and higher lows. And this is the part that my husband asked me yesterday, what would you do differently if you were, starting trading over? And I would have learned market structure from the beginning, because that's the part I kept trying to avoid because it seemed complicated. And I want you guys, if you're starting off, I want you to go ahead and make the decision that I know we've gotten used to hitting the easy button or want to hit the easy button in life, but I want you guys to realize that trading, there might not be an easy button. Okay, you're gonna have to learn how to do the hard things, and the things that seem so hard are not going to be that hard after you learn them. Okay, so for me, I kept avoiding the higher highs and the higher lows. I'm just stretching y'all because I'm getting ready to start my walk, start my 6 miles. I do that every morning, 6.3 to 6.5 miles. So make a decision right now. I can do hard things. I can learn hard things. I can learn how to do things that may seem difficult. Okay, make that decision, because if you don't make that decision, then you're going to tell yourself that you can't learn how to trade. And anything that seems difficult in life, you won't do it. You won't pursue it. Okay, and this is a very uncommon skill that you're learning, but it's going to pay you an uncommon income. And so you have to be willing to learn the uncommon skill if you want to get to the uncommon income. Okay, so I hope you guys get what I'm saying. So don't get confused. I say all that to say don't get confused and caught up with the higher highs and the higher lows, because at first it does really seem confusing, but I don't want you guys to get caught up in that. Okay, so the market had made a pullback, a downtrend here, and then we started to go up. That's basically all I'm saying. We had made a downtrend, and then we started to go up from here. Okay, up. So it started to make higher highs and higher lows. It made a higher high right here, and this became the higher low. All right, and then it made this higher high. And when do you know that the market is going to sell? You know the market's going to sell when what? This higher low gets broken. Okay, so we got all the way up to here. We hit TP yesterday on our buy that we had marked up. We had it marked up right at that purple line. You guys see that, right? We had it marked up right there beautifully. You see the market hit TP, and after the market hits TP, what happens? You usually get a reversal, or you get some type of pullback. Okay, and so we did hit TP. We had divergence starting to form yesterday. Okay, and now we are getting that pullback. Okay, we broke structure on the 30-minute right here for the sell down. All right, so now what you do is you draw your sell fib. You broke structure here for the sell down, and then this is where I put this like mauve color pink line. All my lines and colors mean something. It's in my book, Trading Made Simple for Everyday People. Okay, I have it on in chapter 5. Every color that I use is in here on chapter 5. So you guys, if you want to know all the colors and all the stuff so that the charts make sense to you, it's all in the book. This is on Amazon, over 280 pages. But Trading Made Simple for Everyday People. It's by me, Staar Fields, okay? And this is my roadmap on how I became profitable with trading, all right? And so we broke structure here for the sell down. And now what we're waiting for is some type of pullback. What I do when I have a break of structure is I put this line here and then I just make it with like the railroad track. So it looks broken, okay? And that way I know that it's broken. And then I use that color so I know it's broken on that time frame. This is the 30-minute time frame for that mob, okay? So anybody have any questions? Are you guys following along with me? Good morning, honey. Yeah, you're still at work. All right. Thank you for being here, sweetheart. Thanks for liking the live. Good morning, friend. So I'm just explaining market structure because a lot of people get caught up with the market structure. And I, myself, this is the part that I avoided so much, okay? I thought I couldn't learn it. I thought it was too difficult for me. I just told myself all these stories. And then I even told myself, oh, I'm not going to need to do that because I'm too smart. I'm so smart. I'm not going to have to do it that way. You know, I had told myself all these stories, y'all. Oh, my goodness. And guess what? The joke will be on you, honey. You tell yourself all that stuff. Don't tell yourself all that foolishness that you don't have to learn something the way other people learn and blah, blah, blah. Don't do that. Okay. Don't do that. All right. So this is market structure, friends. This is market structure. All right. So what I do in the morning is when I look at the charts, I'm looking to see, first thing I do is I look to see what areas of structure have been broken. Okay. So when I woke up this morning, I already had it marked last night. I had this 15-minute, 30-minute market structure area right here. All right. That would be our last higher low. Okay. Right here. And I put a line there and then I put an alert there. So when it got broken, it told me. It gave us a little tiny pullback, but I didn't want that pullback. Okay. I didn't want that one. I want a bigger pullback. When you take those little tiny pullbacks, this is my opinion, all of this is risk. You're risking that the market could come way back up here. So you don't want to have all that risk. So I would rather have a 50% pullback. That's considered to be like a healthy pullback. 61.8, you know, I want a deeper pullback. Okay. So this is the break of structure on the 15-minute. You see, it's also the break of structure on the 30-minute. Okay. Market went up, broke right there. All right. Let's see where it is on the 1 hour. On the 1 hour, this is considered to be a low getting broke, not necessarily structure, because I consider structure points to be 2 candles. This is just that low being broke. So this is going to be more like a support and resistance break right here. All right. On the 1 hour. Okay. And on the 1 hour, structure would be broken like down here. All right. So this would be a structural break on the 1 hour if it came down here and broke like down at this area. Okay. And that's at the 52. And what we'll do here, I'm going to take this candle here and I'm going to put it here and I'm going to change the color to my 1 hour. So I'll know that this will be the break on the 1 hour if we get down here to that level. Okay. So that's the way I do it. And then you can set alerts there. Okay. That's the way I do it. That's the way I do it. All right. So now we've broken. Now we're waiting for some type of bullish candle so that we can get some type of retracement. All right. So the 1 hour, that would be our break. On the 4 hour, where would our break be at on the 4 hour? Our break would be here on the 4 hour, okay? This would be our break on the 4 hour, okay? And you see, let me show you why. This was our low. This was our high. It made a higher high, and this would be the higher. This would be the higher low right here on the 4 hour. And all right. So this would be the break on the 4 hour to let us know that we're selling again on the 4 hour. Okay. Any questions about that? And what we're looking for this morning is some type of bullish retracement, because we did have a break. We want some type of bullish retracement back up so that we can get in on the sell continuation down. Okay. So that's what I'm looking for. We haven't gotten it yet with this. Yeah, we haven't gotten it yet. So I'm looking for some type of bullish retracement back up. Now, on the 5 minute, it's very critical. Do you see that on the 5 minute, our momentum is going up, even though the candles are going down? That's divergence. And the reason I'm showing you guys this is not because we're trading on the 5 minute, but because I want you guys to be able to identify the lower lows and the lower highs on that time frame, so you can see when the market shifts. Okay, when is the market going to shift to go towards an uptrend? Okay, so this is our lower low now here, down here, that we just formed. So our lower high area would be right here, because the lower high comes before the lower low. This was the lower low, then it made the lower high, and then it made another lower low. Okay, so this is our last lower high right here. So this would be at 551. This is when the market would be shifting for a buy up. And that, my friends, would be whenever you could take a small, you can, yesterday I scalped the reversal, but look, okay, y'all see this? It's just selling. Don't leave without us, but you don't want to have FOMO. You don't want to have FOMO. You don't want to have FOMO. If you do have FOMO, a lot of times when I have FOMO, that's when I lose money. Okay. So we want to see the market come up, break structure, and give us a little buy up, so that we can get a temporary buy up for the sell down. Okay. And that's what we're looking for. That's what I'm looking for. And we do have, like I said, a lot of divergence on the 5 minute. Okay. So let's see how this market's going to play out. We have crude oil for news at 10:30. Our crude oil inventories is at 10:30. Okay. And you guys, the market's going to do a dance at 2. So be mindful if you are trading around 2. The market is going to do a dance. We have 3 red folders at 2 o'clock. So look to see, hopefully you guys will have major money by then, but be mindful and be careful if you're trading around 2 o'clock, because they have the federal funds rate, FOMC statement, and the FOMC press conference. Okay. So be mindful of that if you're trading around that time. Any questions about this market structure thing? Any questions about anything that I'm saying with market structure? Because I want to make sure that you guys understand it. This was the hardest part for me, just thinking that I didn't have to learn these higher highs and higher lows. I thought I was going to be smarter than the charts, okay? But you've got to take the time to learn it. If I would have learned this at the beginning, and I quit telling myself I didn't have to learn it, that it was too hard or too difficult for me, then I believe I could have been further a lot faster. Okay. But it's guess what? You have to enjoy your journey. So you guys be mindful of the news. If you're new and you don't know how to get to the news, another thing that I didn't think I would need to learn, you need to know the news, okay? Because we are not just over here clicking buttons, guys. We are market analysts, okay? I sometimes don't even like the word day trader. I'm a market analyst. I get on this thing. I be looking at the zigs and the zags, okay? I be projecting and forecasting the next zig and zag. So, you know what? We're market analysts. So, we're not just over here clicking buttons haphazardly. So, make sure that if you don't know how to check the news, in order to check the news, you go to www.forexfactory.com, and that's how you're able to check the news under the calendar. And you're looking for red folders, yellow folders, orange folders. Red folders are the most high impact folders. And depending on what pair you trade, like I trade USD pairs. So I'm looking for red folders, yellow folders, orange folders on USD pairs. But our friend Elena she trades GBP USD. So she's going to be looking at GBP and the USD folders. Okay. So you got to be mindful of all of that when you are calling yourself a trader. All right. Okay, let's get back over here to these charts. So this is where we're at on this negative, on this time frame. Okay, we're looking for some type of pullback. See if we can get some type of pullback up to test these areas here at the 50% or 62.8, something like that. That'll be great. And I hope we get it before 2 o'clock. Okay, so that's what we want. And this is what the Dow Jones is looking like. I'm going to go ahead and look at NAS too. I haven't looked at it today, so let's see. You guys, we did hit our targets on NAS. It hit all of our targets. I am like, wow, it hit all of our targets. So I'm looking, we had a bunch of divergence forming on NAS. On the higher time frames. So I'm trying to see when we're going to get that break and retest. Okay. See, we're getting a lot of divergence going up here, and then this could just be coming back down to test this zone to give us the buy back up. So we'll see. This is on the 1 hour. You guys see this? We got the break above. We got a retest. It might be retesting this area here. That's at the 88%. We could be looking for a buy up on this 1 hour. Let's see what we're going to get here. Okay. And if we do the same thing, you guys, we got our lower low right here on NAS. This is not a lower low because it didn't go lower. This is not a lower low because it hasn't gone lower. Okay. But this was a lower low. And this area before this lower low was like the lower high area. Okay. This was that area here, which that area got broken. And we have divergence and everything. So I would be looking to see if we're going to get some type of reaction here. Again, if not, it may want to go a little lower. But this is my lower low. This was the like lower highish area. Right here. And looks like we broke that. Yeah. So let's see what we're going to get. Got a lot of bullish momentum though. Lots and lots and lots of bullish momentum. I'll tell you that much. And this is what they call a bearish flag. If you are new to trading when you have this long, they call it a flag pole, and then this is the flag. This whole area here is the flag. So this is a bearish flag. And what you need to break out of this bearish flag is you need a break and a retest, okay? So this is what they call a bearish flag. Just so you guys can learn chart patterns right here. All right, bearish flag. This is the pole of the flag. This is the flag body. Let me show you guys the actual flag. So you see, this is the pole of the flag. Can y'all see it? This is the pole of the flag right here. And this would be the flag body, okay? And that's the way, this is a bearish flag. When it's upside down, it's called a bearish flag, okay? And this is all of this right here is all of this right here, okay? So this is a bearish flag. In order for you to break out of this bearish flag, you're looking for a market to go up, come back down and retest this trend line here, and then continue to buy up, all right? So that's called a bearish flag. All righty. So we are getting ready to start our morning walk. We're going to start our devotions. I'm just looking to see which market's going to give us our move this morning. Will it be the Dow or will it be NAS? One of y'all, go ahead and give me an entry. Now we're about to break structure on the 1 hour. We didn't get that break. Let's see if we break it on the 1 hour. Let's see. Looks like we broke it on the line chart. Okay. So let me put these clothes in the dryer and then we'll be walking. Oh my goodness. You guys see this? It's just dropping. Don't leave without us. Lord, don't let me have FOMO. What you have for me is for me. That's the way you got to feel. But when you see the market drop like that, you're like, no. Okay, let's go ahead and start walking. 10:04. So I should be done walking by 11:40. 11:44, I guess. Fix my shoe. Okay. So they are breaking structure on the 1 hour, friends. So now we broke on the 30-minute. We broke on the 1 hour. Can we get a retracement, please? Can we get a retracement in the building, Lord? Can we get a retracement? Let's get it, guys. Let's get it, get it, get it. Okay. All right. So we start off on 2.0 on our walking pad. This is the best little investment I've made in myself. Okay. A walking pad. Who would ever think it would be that good? But it is really that good because it gives you an opportunity to multitask. And as women, you guys know what I mean. We got a lot to do. Okay. We have a lot to do. So we're going to walk this morning. Let's talk it out. See what we're looking at. See if we're getting some breaks or structure around here. This is the Dow. Whatever one we can get a move on, we'll take a move on the Dow. We'll take a move on the NASDAQ. Let's see. This is the Dow. The Dow is breaking for the on the 1 hour time frame. The Dow just broke aggressively. It's being really aggressive today. It's being really aggressive. Okay, and let's see what we're getting here on this. Where did I have that drawn up? Didn't I just draw it up? I just drew up a flag. I know I did. Why come I don't see it? Did I draw it over here? I did. Okay. I'm like, where did I draw it? Okay, so let's see if we're going to get that buy up here. Because remember the flag I showed you. We want to see if we're going to break and retest, respect the top of this trend line here. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. If we're going to get any type of bullish reaction off of this area that we're at here. That's what we're looking for. To see, are we going to get a bullish reaction here, or are we going to keep on selling? That's what we want to know. Fix my shoestring up here. So I don't see any entries right now, friends, on anything. I don't see any entries right now on anything. So I'm just going to keep on going over market structure, okay? This is going to be a teaching session until we get an entry. Over here on the NAS, what I'm looking at is we formed this bearish flag. I showed you guys what a bearish flag was. I pulled out a flagpole and showed you guys. This is the actual pole, and this is the flag right here. This is the actual pole, okay, of the flag. And then this is the flag right here, okay? So this is the pole of the flag, and this is the flag, right? So you guys can see what a flag, a real flag looks like, and then why they call it a bearish flag. It would basically be like an upside down flag. This is the flag pole, and then that's the flag. And then a bullish flag is just the opposite. Okay, the flag is standing up tall, and all of this would be the, you know, the flag blowing. Okay, so what we're looking to see is, are we going to get a break out of this little channel for the buy up, or are we going to continue to sell down? Okay, and we are looking for a buy sometime soon, because number one, we hit a lot of our targets on our daily time frame, and then number two, we have divergence forming. That whole flag, you guys can see it's going up here, and it's going down here, but it's going up here. Okay, so that's what we want to see, right? And we had a lot of news this morning. So what I'm going to do is let's see here. Let's talk about what's going on here. Stocks and tech and everything like that. All right. Let's see. All right, so I'm going to, this is cute. This is really cute. I just asked ChatGPT to simplify what's going on in the market so that a 5-year-old could understand, okay? And I want to tell you what they shared. I think this is really, really cute. All right, you guys ready to hear what ChatGPT says? is going on in the market? All right, here we go. Imagine the stock market is a giant playground. Today, all the kids on the playground are standing around waiting. Nobody wants to run yet. Why? Because the principal is about to make an important announcement. The principal is called the Federal Reserve. All right, you guys following along? Everyone is waiting to hear what they're gonna say. That's what's happening right now, you guys. We're all waiting to hear what the Federal Reserve is going to say. The Federal Reserve is like the parent who decides the cookie rules, okay? Imagine mom says you can have cookies whenever you want. Everyone gets excited. People buy toys, people buy bikes, people spend money. But if mom says no more cookies this week, everyone becomes careful. People stop spending. The Fed does something similar with interest rates. When the interest rates go up, borrowing money costs more. When the rates stay low, borrowing money is cheaper. So today, everybody's waiting to see what the Fed decides. Remember, I told you that was at 2 o'clock, okay? Are the rates going to go up or are they going to stay low, okay? Why were stocks going down, all right? Imagine you're waiting for your teacher to hand back a big test. You don't know if you got an A or an F, so you're nervous. The market feels the same way. Do you guys feel the same way? When you see this aggressive sell, like, do you guys see how people are starting to feel the same way? Okay. When you guys see all this, it says the market feels the same way right now. Okay. So people are very, very nervous right now because nobody knows what the Fed is going to say. Many people are waiting instead of buying, and that makes prices drift down a little. I say a lot. Y'all see how big that sell was. Oil is like lemonade. Imagine everyone needs lemonade every day. Suddenly, someone says, we might not have enough lemons. Now, everybody rushes to buy lemonade. The prices go up. That's what's happening with oil, okay? The oil prices are going up. Because there are worries about fighting in the Middle East, people think oil could become harder to get. So oil prices went what? They went higher, all right? And it says, why does oil matter? If gas costs more, trucks cost more. If trucks cost more, stores pay more, okay? And if stores pay more, pizza costs more. Everything starts getting more expensive. And this is why oil matters. And I know you guys have been able to see this in our real life. Now, what I did is I got this, I signed up to investing.com and I just got their little newsletter thing that they sent me today. And then I asked ChatGPT to simplify it so that a kindergartner could understand. Because sometimes it's not that, it's sometimes we don't understand what we're reading, okay? So if you need it simplified, that's what you can use AI for. Use AI to help you simplify things. I hope this is helping me, okay? Ask ChatGPT to simplify it, to put it in kindergarten layman terms, okay? What are they talking about? Here we go. So why does oil matter? It matters because everything starts getting more expensive. And that's called what? What's it called when everything starts getting more expensive? Inflation. The Fed watches over inflation very closely because they want prices to stay under control. Now let's talk about this. Why is everyone talking about Microsoft and Meta? Why is everybody talking about Microsoft and Meta? We're speeding our walk up, guys. Why is everybody talking about Microsoft and Meta? Imagine the two smartest kids in class are about to show everyone their report cards. Everyone wants to see if they got A's. Microsoft and Meta are two of the biggest companies in the stock market, okay? Today, they are reporting how much money they made if they did really well. the market could become happier. If they disappointed investors, the market could fall. I wonder if they disappointed investors, because that dang market is falling. Let's see. Did they disappoint investors? I wonder what they shared. Y'all see this market falling? Wow. And I wonder if it's Meta and Microsoft did this. Okay. They made the market structure break. Okay. So this is explained in the investing.com, guys, in simple terms so that you can understand it. I hope this is helping you be able to understand, okay? Hope it's helping you be able to understand. Hope it's helping you be able to understand what's going on, all right? What's going on? Hey, what's going on? All right. So why was everyone nervous? Because three big things were happening at once. The principal the Fed was about to talk. Oil was getting more expensive, and the biggest companies were about to show their report cards. That's enough to make investors say, let's wait before we buy. Trader translation. When I read this article, I immediately think high impact news day, expect volatility, don't force trades before the Fed speaks, watch NAS 100, US 30, and S&P 500 for big moves after the announcement. Microsoft and Meta earnings can create strong momentum in tech stocks after their release. This is one of those days where patience is what? Often more valuable than prediction, because markets may stay quiet before the news and then move sharply once the uncertainty is gone. All right. Very good. What do y'all think about this? This is if I was 5 years old and I was trying to explain the market of what's happening right now to a 5-year-old. This was very easy to understand, okay? I hope you guys enjoyed that. Oil is like lemonade. I hope you guys enjoyed that out there. If you did, let me know. If you're watching the replay, say enjoyed it. Oil is like lemonade, okay? So that's what's happening out there, guys. That's what's going on. And I was reading it a little earlier, and I said, okay, I'm going to share this with my peeps on the YouTube and see if they can understand it a little bit better if we break it down. Okay? The interest rates going up and down. That's what all of this stuff means when you look at your calendar. That's what all of this stuff means, guys. When you're looking at your calendar and you're looking to see the federal funds rate, if it's going to be up, if it's going to be down, you're looking to see the FOMC statement, the FOMC press conference. That's what all of these numbers mean. And here goes our crude oil inventories. Oil, see, that's a yellow folder. That's going to happen in 6 minutes and 53 seconds. Our forecast is 0.7 mil. Our previous was 2.0. So let's see where we're at with that. You guys see, but this is what all of these numbers mean. They affect what we're doing here with our trading. So that's why it's so important to be able to learn. And that's why we just had ChatGPT explain it to us as if we were 5 years old. Okay. So I hope that helps you to see why we could be getting these sharp moves down. We have not yet had a correction, friends. We have not had a correction. Okay. So we've dropped about 500, over 500 points this morning since we marked this stuff up. So we haven't not had a correction yet. But I thought that was a cute way to explain what's going on here in the market. All right. What's going on here in the market. And we'll look to see what's happening with crude oil in just a few minutes. so we can see what's happening, because look to see what's going on with Microsoft and Meta. Look to see what grades they got on their test, okay, to see if we need to be buying or selling or what, okay? And that stuff directly affects what we're doing here in our market. So I love how ChatGPT broke it down and said, overall, what is it saying? It's a high impact news day. Expect volatility and don't force trades, okay? Don't force no trades before the Fed speaks, all right? Don't force it. Patience is often more valuable than prediction, okay? So we're not forcing anything. Trading with the stars, we ain't forcing it. We're waiting for the market to come to us. We're waiting for it to do what we expect it to do, all right? Very, very, very cute analysis using the lemonade. Oil is lemonade, okay? The 5-year-old mommy says you can have as many cookies as you want. Okay. I love that, all right? Nobody gets any more cookies this week, and that's when the markets go down, okay? So we're trying to see what the Fed chair is going to say. Is it going to cost more to borrow money, or are the rates going to stay low? Okay, that's what we want to know. That's what we want to know, all right? Because we can tell, and I don't know if you guys can tell, but personally, let me tell you the experience I have personally with me myself. I was buying an SD card. I do a lot of filming and videoing, I hardly ever put the videos out, but I do a lot of documenting of our day and our journey, and just having a child with severe autism and just seeing him and his reactions to stuff. So one of the things that I don't want to do is I don't want to delete my videos and put just rewrite over them. So I like to just buy the SD cards and file them in like a little file thing I bought off Amazon. But the SD cards that I buy for 256, no, I usually buy the 512 gigs, guys, for 40 some dollars. The Samsung ones, do you know those are like $158 now? I just cannot believe it. And the 256s are 50 something dollars, and that wasn't even Samsung, that was SanDisk. So everything has gone up, like it's tripled in price, the cost of some of this stuff. So that's how people are feeling it in real life, with everything. That's the technology side of it. But just trying to buy an SD card, I haven't even, tried to buy a cell phone. God who knows we don't want to have to buy one of those. So I'm like, hold on to your cell phone because everything is so expensive. And then on top of that, the groceries, you can look at the bags of potato chips and see that you're just getting a bunch of air. So people are being affected by the market, and they don't understand the market, but we know what's happening in the market because we're looking at the market going up and down and side to side. So, everyone is being affected by it. Some people might not have financial effects as far as not being able to get the SD card, because I'm still able to get the SD card, but somebody else might not be able to get the SD card, or they might not be able to do those things. And so even when we travel this year, the RV place where we normally go is usually a lot fuller, and this year it was quite empty. Okay, quite empty. So Yeah. Alrighty, guys. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. We're going to wait and see what we're going to get here. We're going to wait and see what we're going to get. Hey, hey, hey. Okay, guys, I just had to take a call. Had to take a call. We're looking at these markets, seeing if we're going to get an opportunity for a pullback here, but it's looking like it tried to leave without us. I hate it when it does that, but you don't want to get FOMO, guys. Remember, I just read to you the reports from investing.com. It's a lot happening in the markets today. Let's go ahead and look back over here and see how this crude oil played out. Let's see. Did we get anything? Anything yet? Let's see what we got. It forecasted 3.75. So let's see. All right. So it's still 3.75. All right. So that stayed the same. That's good. 3.75, previous 3.75. So you guys see it's been 3.75 since January. Yes, praise God. All right. So that's good. We're just looking for some type of retracement if we can get it. So we can get in on the action. We want to get in on the action. Action. Okay, we want to get in. It's just dropping. It's just horrible. Don't do us like that. Don't do us like that. The market dropped 1,000 points. We want to get in on it. I just want to pass my funded challenge. Okay. So you guys see it on the 1 minute, on the 5 minute. Remember we had market structure. So now this would be our, that lower high. Let's see. This would be it right here. 539. That would be the area that's coming back to test. And that's that. That's a wrap, baby. Yes. I'm looking at my friends' family reunion. Ah. All right, guys. Let's see if we're going to be able to get in on the action. Are we going to be able to get in on the action of this trade? Huh? Are we going to be able to get in? We're looking for some type of, any type of pullback, okay? We want to pull back so we can get in for that sell back down. Let's see what we're getting on this. Let's see what we're getting here. have now formed a lower low. So we're still in this very bearish flag, okay? So this is our lower low here. It's our lower high here. We've walked 2.3 miles, friends. We're up 271 calories. Let's go ahead and have our devotions. Have our devotions. All right. We have our devotions. Yesterday, we talked about having victory in God. And I want to encourage you guys, if you follow the principles of God, being steadfast and immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that your labor is not in vain. Not only can you have victory in God, but you can have victory in your life. See, God already is victory. He is victory all by himself, okay? So as Christians, I believe that we need to strive to have victory in our lives. A lot of times we know we have victory in Jesus. We sing that song, there's victory in Jesus, my Savior forever. I mean, we sing all these songs, guys, but we really want to live a life of victory. And what does that mean? It means something different for each and every one of you. But we know we don't want to be broke, busted, disgusted. We want to have good relationships within our families, our children, our marriages, our finances, our spiritual life. We just want to have victory in every part of our life, okay? So our book that we're reading out of is called Meditation Journal. It's appreciating God's sunrises and sunsets. Are you appreciative that God woke you up to see another day, to see another the sun come up, okay? See another sunset, see the sun in the sky. Yesterday, the sun was so beautiful. It was big, it was giant, it almost looked fake. It was such a beautiful, big, sunny day yesterday in Florida. And as it was setting, I was videoing it. And my husband's like, go get some pictures for your mom. She's going to love that. So beautiful, the sunset. But anyway, my mom loves sunrises and sunsets. This is her book, Deborah Ann Bartlett. It's available on Amazon. And this is our meditation journal. Our subject today is mindful to God, okay? Our scripture is Psalms 8:4. And it says, what is man that you are mindful of him, and the Son of Man that you visit him? And she wrote, God knows everything about us. He watches over us, and he even knows how many hairs we have in our head, okay? God wants to be our God, and he wants us to be his people. She actually put that in one of her songs. But God knows everything about us. He watches us. He watches over us. He even knows how many hairs we have in our head. Psalms 8:4. So this version is the King James version. Okay, let's see what our AI overview says. What is mankind that you are mindful of them? Okay. Human beings that you care for them. It is a famous verse about human worth. Okay. God's greatness and humility. You can read the full text and context in the Bible. Okay. But human and smallness. Okay. People look tiny and weak when compared to the giant sky, moon, and stars made by God. God's great love. God's great love. God still chooses to notice. Oh, that's so good. He still chooses to notice, to watch over, and deeply care for human beings despite our small size. Okay. And it says users on the core generally agree that the Hebrew words used in this verse highlight human frailty contrasted with God's active, loving favor towards us. And so when I think about this, to know that God loves us, he cares about the details of us. He's concerned about the details of us. He's concerned about us. He's mindful of us, about the things that make us tick, okay? The things that you enjoy, the things that I enjoy. God cares about you, and he cares about me. And I think if you just never, ever stop believing that and never, ever forget that God cares about us, but he's mindful. He's mindful, and he's paying attention to the details of your life, down to the number of hairs on your head. Wow. Okay. That's all I can say is wow. That's amazing. As a mom of a child with special needs, I have to be mindful of Gabriel. I'm always looking for the non-verbal cues with him to see if maybe he's not feeling well. Have to make sure he's drinking. If he's not drinking, does he have a sore throat? Why is he not drinking? Why is he not eating? So I'm always being mindful. And sometimes it feels like nobody's being mindful of me, but I'm being mindful of everybody else. Do you ever feel like that? Anybody out there? But just to know that God, he's being mindful of me. He cares about the things that I care about. He cares about the details down to the amount of hairs on our head. And so that's why I truly believe if you tell the Lord what your dreams are, what you want to accomplish, I believe, he can help you do it. I know he can, because he's mindful of us, okay? And nothing is too hard for him. If you work towards it, you're steadfast and immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. If you work towards it, I know God can do it for you, okay? And that's not just trading, that's anything in your life, all right? So be mindful, because God is mindful of us, all right? He knows everything about us. He watches over us, and he even knows how many hairs we have in our head. He's mindful of us, okay? And so as we're mindful of others, just know that God is mindful of us, okay? That's going to be our word for the day. Psalms 8, and that is verse 4, okay? Psalms 8:4. There's an old song. What matter of man is this, the winds they obey? Okay. God is in control. He's mindful of us. He cares about us. My mom's doctor told me yesterday, you're not just a number. You know what I mean? And I want you guys to remember that. You're not just a number. You're a person. You're a value. Your life means something. It means something to somebody. It means something to God, okay? It means something to your family. Your life means something. It's small, and sometimes we feel insignificant, but we are not. So be mindful, because God is mindful for us. All right, guys? So that's our scripture, Psalms 8:4. God cares about us. He loves us. And he pays attention to the details when it comes to us, okay? All right. Now, we got to pay attention to the details on these candles. Y'all see these? We just made a lower low, okay? That's paying attention. That's being mindful, okay? And we're going to bring it down there, okay? We got to be mindful of where we're at in the market, okay? So we just made a lower low on that time frame on NAS. Let's see if we are going to get the push back up. We're looking for some type of break and retest. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Because we can't control the when. We have to wait for the when. And that's the same thing in everything. We only are in control of our own actions. We're not in control of when it happens. We're in control of our activity, okay? So we are looking for some type of buy up eventually. We just don't know when, but we do have this lower low mark now, and we do have our new lower high, okay? And that's on the 1 hour. Let's look at this 15-minute. All right, let's get a pullback. We need a pullback. And we get a pullback, Lord. Okay. We need a miracle. I believe it. We need a miracle. I receive it. We need a miracle of salvation. Miracle of dedication. Here I go again, Lord. We've got to have a miracle. Here I go again, Lord. I know you can fix it, Lord. Here I go again, Lord. It's already done. Yeah. Here I go again, Lord. Trust in you for a miracle. We need a miracle. I believe it. We need a miracle. Good morning, friends. We're just waiting for our move. Our scripture today is Psalms 8:4. Be mindful. God is mindful about us, okay? He cares about us. Let's go ahead and keep talking about market structure. We've had our devotions. I've been walking on here for 380 calories. I've been walking almost an hour, 57 minutes, 58 minutes. So I have about 42 minutes left. And while we spend these next 42 minutes, we're going to be hoping that we can get some type of pullback, okay? Some type of pullback, all right? So let's see where we are at. Let's go ahead and look at market structure, because that's what we are training on today on our call. We're talking about market structure, all right? So I'm going to add, I'm going to add on here US 30. I'm going to add that to the charts, guys. And this is going to be our training chart. Okay. I'm going to add that to the chart, and this is going to be our training chart. So let's go ahead and start at our monthly time frame. And what we're going to start doing, this is going to help you train your eyes on market structure. Okay. So what I want you to do, I want you to show me, well, you can't show me because we're not on Zoom, but I want to show you guys where our higher high would be and our higher low. Okay. So this is the market since, let's just say 2022. And we were kind of consolidating around this area. And then we broke through these highs here. And we made a higher high right here. All right. We made a higher high right here. This was our higher high. And then after you make a higher high, that's called the impulse. The market usually does what we call a correction. And it made a what? A higher low. Okay. Hope you guys are following. So after you have a huge impulse, a breakout, okay, we usually get some type of retest, okay? So these are the terminologies that you'll hear people saying in trading. You'll hear them say breakout. You'll hear them say impulse. You'll hear them say correction. You'll hear them say continuation, which is another breakout. All right, so after the market broke out, this became our higher high. Hey, honey. This became our higher low. And then we got a new higher high area that we are going to say is up here, and it's still forming. Actually, it hasn't stopped. Okay, so this is our higher high, this is our higher low, and what we do is we have a new area that's still forming. Now for me, Star, personally, when I see one candle retracements, I consider that as still a part of the continuation. Okay, but when I see two or more, then I consider that a confirmation. Okay, that we definitely wanted to stop there. Now this is what I want you to know. One candle on the monthly time frame could still be two candles on the weekly time frame. So when we get to the weekly, you see this was a one candle pullback, but in the weekly it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this would still been a pullback, which would still be a higher low on the weekly. And I want you guys to make sure that you understand that. So very, very important. All right. So we have our higher high, our higher low, and we have our higher high, and this area is still forming because we have not, in my opinion, had a two candle pullback on the monthly. Okay. Anybody have any questions or concerns about that? Now, depending on how this market closes in the next couple of days, is going to be a big determining factor if this is going to be our first bullish, our first bearish monthly candle, and then if the following month we'll get another pullback. Okay, so those are all things to pay attention to when you're looking at market structure on the higher time frames. But just for Star, when I see a one candle pullback, in the back of my head, I know it could still be continuation. Okay, but when I see two candle pullbacks of the opposite color, so if we're going up and I see two red candles to pull back, I take that instead of a continuation. I take that as a confirmation, and that is going to be where my stopping point would be, where I have two or more candles pull back. Okay, that's the way I look at it. If we're in an uptrend, those candles are going to be red. If we're in a downtrend, those candles are going to be green. All right, so that would be the pullback. Any questions? I'm going to the chat. This is market structure on the monthly, and market structure on the monthly is very easy to see because there's not a lot of noise. Okay, it's not a lot of noise, but the smaller you go down, that's where it gets harder to be able to see the market structure. All right, so this is on the monthly time frame. Let's keep trailing away and going on down. Let's get down to the weekly. If you have any questions about market structure, make sure you put them in the chat. Okay, weekly market structure almost looks exactly like our monthly, except what? Right here, where we just had that one pullback, we don't have anything. So on weekly, this would be a higher high, this would be the higher low, and this area up here would be the higher high. And we already are getting those pullbacks right here. Okay, so this would be our last higher high, and this would be our last higher low. And I hope you guys are getting it. Then here, alrighty. All right. This is market structure. So on our monthly time frame, you need to know the last three dots, the last three pivotal points on that structure. So you would need to see the higher high, the higher low, and the higher high. Okay. So I want you to be able to identify the last three dots, the previous higher high, the current higher high, and the current higher low. Okay. You need to be able to identify this pattern. All right. This is on the what? Weekly. On the daily. Okay. Let's look at the daily. See where we're at on the daily. We still have our same higher high. Okay, still have our same higher high, but where is that higher low at now? It's right here, all right? That higher low is right here, and this is under US 30, all right? So higher low on the daily is right I'm just marking up here so I can train you guys on how to read market structure so you guys can see it. Here it is right there. This is market structure. On the daily, this would be the break. If it came down here and broke this area, this would be our break of structure on the daily. Okay? I can put a line here, horizontal line. That's blue. And I'm going to say this would be the break. I'm going to even put it in text. Would be the break. All right. Then we go down to the 4 hour. We do the same thing on the 4 hour. $4 we actually already had the break because it was right here. So then $4 break. Let's see if it already played out. Now, after you have a break, what are you looking for? You're looking to see, has it already played out? That's what you want to know. Has it already played out? Because if it has already played out, then maybe you can get in on it, okay? But if it's already played out, that means it has already hit TP, then you cannot get in on it, okay? So this move has already played out. We've already hit TP on this move here, and it may or may not come to negative 61.8. It could, because it's got a lot of a bullish aggression. So it could come back down here to the 51,269. It very well could, all right? Because it did come up and tap the 52,874. All right. So did it play out? The 27 hit. After the 27, we reversed, came back up here to test these highs, and now we're selling back down. All right. So that's where we're at on that. Then we keep going down, guys. So this is where we're at on the 4 hour. 4 hour, we see that we could come all the way down here to this daily and test that or break it. Okay. That's what it's lined up with. So this is how I go time frame by time frame by time frame to see if and where there are opportunities in the market. All right. So we see this is aggressively selling down. Here it's closing beneath there. So hopefully we'll get some type of pullback and then a sell continuation to come down here. Okay. So that's that. Then you go down to the 1 hour, guys. So this is a 4 hour. Then you go down to the 1 hour. On the 1 hour, what did we have? We still have our higher high over here. And then we have our higher high. This broke on July the 8th. So this 4 hour trade, if you were in it, you could have been in it for July the 8th to July the 14th. Or you could have been in from July the 8th to July the 7 days. This is July the 23rd. So that's the 2 weeks on 4 hour structure. Hey, honey. Whew. All right. Let's look at 1 hour. One hour, the market structure broke right here. And if we draw the fib, let's see what we got. Barely gave us a 38.2, and that hit those TPs very quickly. It really only gave us a 23.6. So that broke here at the 7th, and it's still the 7th. Let's see. This one, and it still only gave us a 23.6. Oh, yeah. Gave us a 50%. Boy. "77 minutes walking, guys." 532 calories. Let's see how far and how much walking we can do. Now, remember our live schedule today. We've been on live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I have a meeting tomorrow. So I probably will not be able to be on here. If I am, I'll probably just be personally trading tomorrow because I'll be out of town. Okay. Staar has a meeting. There's a meeting in the ladies' room. All right. So one of the things about me is I love being involved in organizations that help families that have children and adults with disabilities. And so I do have a meeting with one of the organizations that I'm a part of. I love that. Be planning for our following year. And you know, we just got back from the Keys. So I hate that I had to unpack and then throw some more stuff in a bag. Oh, but it's okay. It's okay. Whew. Let's see what we're getting on this. Have we got a pullback yet? Are we getting anything yet, Lord? We are getting a pullback. Okay. Getting something. Something's starting to happen, okay? So this is on the 1 hour. Something is starting to happen. Something happened. And now I know He touched me and He's made. He's made me whole. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. From the bottom of my heart to the depths of my soul. Yes, Lord. Completely yes. My soul says yes. All right, y'all. So we're looking for a pullback. We've had a huge sell down. When you know what kind of trader you are, I'm a break and retest style trader. So I'm going to be looking for it to come back up here to this 52.16, y'all, and write it back down. Now, this might come at news time, but either way, I'm hoping that I can catch this move. I want to take it up to the 615 to test this zone here and write it back down. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. I hope and pray that's what I get. All right. So on the smaller time frames, what I'm looking for is some type of buy up to this area. Okay. And that's when you'll go down to like the 5 minute to see when market break structure down there. So that's what we're going to be looking for, guys. Some type of retracement up so we can write it back down. That's what I personally am looking for. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead over here so we can finish our training. We're training on marking up charts. We're talking about market structure. We just did the 1 hour. So you guys seen how that played out. And what I was showing you guys was on the 4 hour time frame, it took 8 days to hit TP1. And then it took another 8 days to hit TP2. So if you're trading on the 4-hour time frame, I suggest that you trade forex, because a lot of times with these futures accounts, if you don't have like $3,000, or you've got to have like a lot of money to be able to roll it over, to be able to carry it over through the night. So that's one of the things that you have to be mindful of when you trade futures. The money that you have to have in there, so you don't have to close your accounts by 4 to 5 p.m. on a daily, okay? All right. All right. You guys see the sweat, honey. The sweat is real. All right, so let's go ahead and look at how long it took the TP to hit on the hour. So just so you guys have an idea, because I don't want you to think, oh, it breaks and it's going to hit it within one day. No, it might not, okay? It might not. So this would have been the high. And this would have been the low. And this is on this hour break, okay? This all happened in one day. 12 o'clock, it broke structure, came, gave us a retest at 2 o'clock. And by, it's still, this hit TP like the next day. Okay. It hit TP the next day. Okay. That was on a 1 hour structure, that first one. All right. And let's look at the 15-minute, because I'm just showing you guys the different breaks or structures so you can identify your highs and your lows. You need to identify the last three, be able to draw 3 circles. Can you draw 3 circles in a line? If you can learn how to do that, you'll be all right. So let's go on to the 15-minute and see, can you draw 3 circles in a line? If you can learn that, you can be able to be successful in trading, okay? Draw 3 circles in a line. Can you do that? Okay. So what's the first circle? If you're in an uptrend, you want to be able to draw that higher high. This is on the 15-minute, okay? Then you want to be able to draw that higher low. And then you want to be able to draw that last higher high. All right. 3 circles in a line. Where's the break going to be? The break is going to be right here. Break is going to be right here. So what I want you guys to pay attention to is each time you go down a time frame, you get a break of structure earlier, which means that you possibly could get an earlier entry, okay? So we had a break of structure here, And then it stopped, still stopped in the same place. Well, it stopped here and it came back up and retested this area. So you could have got in here, I guess, if you were trading on the smaller time frame. But if you're looking at market structure, it really came down here and stopped, and same fib as the hour. Okay. Now let's look at the 5 minute, because I just want you guys to see this stuff. 5 minute. Okay. Same structure. Okay. I want you to see. Same higher high. With our higher low. Higher low is different. All right. Higher low is right here. So I want you guys to be able to see this. This was our higher low here on the 5 minute. And it got broken. Came back up and retested here. And we had a continuation. All right. This is what it looked like on the 5 minute. I'm just going to draw a fib so you guys can see. This is what this would have looked like on the 5 minute. If you would have got in, you would have got a almost 50% retracement and could have took it down to the 53.019. All right. Still a beautiful move. Okay. And then of course you had a bunch of bearish momentum, and hasn't stopped. So hope that you guys can see that structure every single time you enter. When you go down to smaller time frames, you're able to get in earlier. Okay. So this would have been our breaker structure on the 5 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour. Okay. With our 5 minute, we did have this one green candle pullback, which would have gave us almost a 50% pullback and continuation. All right. So I want you guys to be able to mark up structure on all those time frames, and you see which one plays out the fastest. Of course, that 5 minute pulled back, and within what? From this pullback was at 940. From 940 to 10, you hit your money. Yeah. 940 to 955. So 15 minutes, you were already up over 200 points. Okay. So I hope this helps you guys. This is my last 10 minutes of my walk. I bump it up to 5.0 because I want to finish strong in everything that we do. This is market structure training. Things I want you to pay attention to. I want you to be able to draw your last 3 circles, your last higher high, higher low, and that previous higher high. Okay. And then the other thing that I would like for you guys to do is go down so you can see all of the time frames, the entries where you would have entered if you were getting in on the 5 minute, the 15 minute, the 1 hour, or the 4 hour. And the other thing that's a good idea to do is to see how long it took for your trades to play out. If you're kind of an impatient girly like myself or a guy, you ain't trying to be on these charts all day, then you might want to consider looking at the 15 minute or the 5 minute breaks or structure, because those play out a lot faster. If you have more time, then look at the hours. breakup structure. But even on US 30, that's very volatile. It took 2 weeks for that 4-hour time frame for it to completely play out. Okay. All right. So let's see if we have any questions in the chat. Any questions in the chat on market structure? Thank you for the thumbs up, guys. Thanks for coming by. Make sure you guys subscribe if you need help with market structure. This is the area that I avoided for so long. Oh, you said beautiful voice. Thank you. Oh, I love to sing, honey. If you guys have any questions, make sure you put them in the chat about market structure. This is the area that I avoided for years. If I could have went back and did it all over again, this is what I would have learned first. I would have made myself learn market structure. Okay. I would have made myself learn it, but I kept telling myself that you're smarter than that. You're not going to have to know higher highs and higher lows because it just sounded confusing. Okay. It sounded confusing. Now let me give you guys the cheat code. Okay. Because I'm not going to leave you without telling you the way. I want you to train your eyes. Of course, I want you to train your eyes. Okay. I'm going to give you guys this indicator here. It's called higher high, lower low strategy 4.0. Let's see who this is by. I just turned it on, so I want you guys to see it. So make sure. So this is called higher high, lower low strategy 4.4. Okay, let's see who this strategy is by. And the way you find this, guys, is you go over here to indicators. Right up here, first indicators, and you type in higher high, lower low, strategy 4.4. Okay, I think it's this one here, the Lonesome Trader. All right, this is it. And this one here, guys, will put these higher highs and higher lows, but you still have to be able to see it. What you don't want to be doing is waiting for the market to print something, because this stuff is delayed, okay? So you don't want to be waiting for the market to print something and when you can write it up yourself, okay? So I want you to be able to see it with your own eyes first, but you can use this as confirmation. Use this as confirmation. So when we talked about the market structure breaking over here, okay, going back to where we had marked it up, where we talked about the market structure breaking over here. You see, we had our higher high there. We already had our circle. We had our higher low. We had our previous higher high. And that's what I want you guys to be able to mark up. If you can draw 3 circles in a line, you can identify market structure, okay? 3 circles in a line, you can identify market structure. And you'll be able to tell when it's broken, okay? You'll be able to tell when it's broken, all right? So this is the indicator. Any questions? But you guys will see I keep indicators off. I don't even use them because I want to be able to train my eyes so that I can see. That's the other mistake I made when I first started trading, trying to use indicators. Indicators aren't going to teach you how to trade. You're not going to learn how to trade until you begin to see market structure. So make sure that you learn how to draw how many circles? Somebody say 3. 3 circles. And I need you to be able to draw your line. If you can just draw 3 circles in a line, I believe we can make it, okay? I believe we're going to create some excellent traders out here. So That's what I want you guys to practice. Being able to draw 3 circles in a line. You need to be able to draw your last higher high, your last higher low, and the previous higher high before that if you're in an uptrend. If you're in a downtrend, that's going to just be opposite. You need to be able to draw your last lower low, your last lower high, and the previous lower low before that. Okay, so I hope you guys got something out of this training. Hope you guys see that every time you go down a time frame, the market structure breaks in a different area. So I really hope you guys were able to see that clearly. And I hope that you guys were able to see what you also want to be able to see is the retracement. Sometimes the retracement might just be one candle. Okay. Sometimes, depending on how far it has to retrace, it could be a lot more than one candle. So let's get back over here and look at our chart that we're looking for, because we're looking for a retracement right now, right? We're looking for a retracement right now. This is what you hit to get back to your current chart. You hit the refresh button at the bottom. We're looking for some type of retracement now to try to get up here, and we're not getting it. Oh my goodness. It's like having a hard time, friends. So that's what we're looking for, some type of retracement back up so that we can retest these areas here. And so far, the market's only given us these little wicks right here. This is all the retracement that we've gotten the whole time. Okay. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for some type of retracement back up. We've had a great workout, 99 minutes, 6.2 miles, guys. Let's see how many calories, 716 calories burnt. Yes, it's been a great morning, a great workout. Y'all see the sweat, okay? On Wednesdays, Gaby has speech therapy, so I have to turn into super mommy, okay? So I have about 15 more minutes on here, and then from 12 to 1, I got to do what? Wash 2 butts, brush 2 sets of teeth, comb 2 heads. Yes, get ready for school, because we have to go to school and do our therapy and all that fun stuff, okay? So, anybody have any questions about market structure? All right, so as the market is moving, what are you looking for? What are you doing? You're marking your charts up. You're looking for opportunities where you could take advantage to get into the market, whether it's going to be for the continuation of the move or if it's going to be the retracement of the move. So we're waiting for a retracement. And for us, that retracement, we wanted to come back up here and retest this area here where we originally pushed up from. We want to retest this area. So we'll see if we get that move today. We might not get that move till tomorrow. Either way, we've seen what the investing.com says. We see that a lot going on in our world. We see that the oil prices are going up. And we talked about that and why it matters, okay? And so we know we have 3 red folders at 2 p.m. And depending on what this Fed says at 2 p.m., it's going to make the market do a dance. So that would either be a good time to get in for, look, a buy or a sell. We don't know. But I'm looking for the sell back down. So we'll see if we get an opportunity to get in on that. Okay. So that's basically all I have for you guys today. We've been on here for 2 hours and 17 minutes. How are you doing? Hey, EK Trading Lab. I'm doing good. How are you, honey? Doing good. Haven't taken a trade today. I haven't got an entry yet. So I'm looking for a sell back down on the Dow. I was just waiting for it to give us some type of retracement back up. So I haven't taken any trades today. I have $815 left to pass my funded challenge. So hopefully I can get a good trade in. I've already calculated my risk to reward. So once we get that buy up, I'll go ahead and take that sell down. Hi, I am new. Name is Vimal Indian. Expect work from you. UAE. Okay, very good. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to my channel. I'm Star Fields. You guys are trading with the stars, okay? And one thing about me is I walk on my walking pad while I trade, so I exercise at the same time, and I am trading. And I've been trading now for over 5 years. About 8 months, 8 months ago, I became profitable. So it did take me a little over 4 years to begin to see market structure. And so that's why I'm telling you guys, if I was starting all over again, I would learn market structure first, because that's the one thing that I kept on putting off. So that's why I'm going to keep on drilling that into you guys, is to learn market structure, because that is the most thing. I trade NAS, I trade the Dow Jones. Yeah, I trade the indices, and every now and again I'll trade gold. So let me show you guys what we're looking for. This is the Dow Jones. I'm looking for it to come back up here and retest these areas, and then I'm going to be looking for a sell back down. We broke structure for the sell on the 30-minute, on the 1 hour, and on the 4 hour. Okay, so I'm looking for it to give me some type of retracement back up, and I'm going to be looking for a sell back down from that area. Okay. I probably won't be on YouTube when it does do that, because I got to go take my son to school, but that's what I'm going to be looking for. Some type of seller or bearish reaction up around this area to sell it back down. All right. And then on the NASDAQ, let's see what we're getting. We had just created a lower low on the NASDAQ. So we're going to look, we have a lot of divergence. We did have divergence on the NAS. So we're going to look to see if we can break out of these break the higher high, so that we can get some type of sell back up. Okay. We're still in this like bearish flag, and I had drawn it up. We're in a bearish flag, and this is just my flag here. Okay. But this is the pole of the flag. You guys see the pole of the flag? This is a flag, right? This is the pole of the flag right here. This is the pole right here, right? And this is when you are in a downtrend, right? This is the pole of the flag, and then this is all of the flag, the body of the flag right here. Okay, so we are in a bearish flag. I like to use props so you guys can see. I like to use props. So what we're going to be waiting for is we're going to be waiting for the market to break the high out of this area here, and so that we can get some type of buy back up. Okay, break and retest outside of this area here, and then we'll be looking for the buy back up. All right. Any other questions, guys, before we get out of here? Is this asset there in XNIS or XM? I'm not sure. XNIS or XM. I'm not sure. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. XNIS or XM. I don't know if that means that you can trade it on that platform. I'm not sure. But you should be able to look for, I'm trading. The M and Q is the NASDAQ, that's NAS 100. And for the Dow Jones, it's MYM. Okay, and these are the micro units, okay? The mini Dow Jones. So the mini Dow Jones, if you guys look over here at the cost, it's only 50 cents per lot size per pip, okay? You can start off with just one, and it'll only be 50 cents per little pip. Okay, if you do the mini NASDAQ, it's $2 per point or per pip. Okay, I use TradingView to trade because I'm in a 50K funded challenge through who's that funded challenge through? Take Profit Trader. So I'm using TradingView to trade. And I like that because I'm able to use Trade-Evate right through here, and I'm able to take my trades like that, okay? And you're able to connect your Take Profit Funded Challenge right through Trade-Evate and trade directly from your TradingView platform. So that's what I do like. I really like that because When I first started trading, my broker was different than the numbers over here, and I would always lose money just off of that. When I first started trading, I lost so much money off of basic stuff because I didn't know. Okay. So that's why I'm teaching my people, we are not doing that. Okay. We are not doing that. We are going to try to eliminate all the silliness so that we don't have to lose money on stuff like that. So definitely using Trading View to trade and Trade-Evate. And I have it connected to my 50K broker. All right. Any more questions before we leave, guys? Thanks for all your feedback, your thumbs up. Thanks for being here. Elena Bands, girl. I hope you guys are doing great. And hope it's going great for you. And I hope you're doing good with your GU. And thank you guys for hanging out with me this morning. Remember, this week will probably be it. If I have time, I'll get on in the morning tomorrow, but probably not because we'll be traveling and at a meeting. So I'll be back on Monday. And I thank y'all for rocking with me. I'm Staar Fields, and you've been doing what? Trading with the stars. You guys have an awesome day. And remember, if you're trading around 2 p.m., be really, really careful because we have 3 red folders. Okay. Be careful out there in these streets, out there in this market streets. All right. Have a blessed one. Bye-bye.